Yo, so I definitely feel like I predicted this Ice Spice and Cleopatra stuff. On my video titled Ice Spice versus the Shea Butter Community, I basically predicted that all of this shit was gonna happen. A lot of people were coming from like a lot of different sides based off their emotions, which is completely understandable. And people are still doing that now when it comes to this first it was the Stormy Baby, now it's the Cleopatra situation. And I'm going to show you guys a clip of what I basically said in my last video, just so you can see. And we're going to get into some other public opinions as well. Some overall opinions I've been seeing from like the pro-black community and stuff. Yeah, some overall opinions that I've been seeing is like, oh yeah, we told you so. Ice Spice is fake. Dark skinned women, Ice Spice is not your friend. But I'm gonna get into that a little bit deeper so both sides can understand what's going on and you can form your own opinion. Get the public sympathy, because when she first said Shea Butter Community, I kind of didn't know what she was talking about until Storm Baby basically reiterated like, hey, she's talking about dark skinned people. So clearly this was something thought through. Clearly this is like propaganda. Like clearly she planned on certain groups of people attacking Ice Spice. So I found that very, very interesting. And my overall opinion is that this friendship was never genuine. And that's on either sides, because Storm Baby basically said that she was doing music way before Ice Spice, and that Ice Spice basically stole all her connections and leveled up on her or whatever. So I have a feeling that this friendship wasn't genuine on either sides, and that a lot of more stuff is going to be coming out. So basically, I'm going to go over some of the accusations that Cleopatra had just super quickly. So, one thing I noticed that her and Baby Stormy first said when it came to the genesis of both of their friendships is that they thought Ice Spice was cute. And at first, that just comes off like an innocent compliment, but like, who would be friends with someone just because they're cute? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I feel like that was like an offhand way of saying I wanted to social climb via this person's beauty, which I definitely said in the Baby Stormy video as well. Something else she said was, you didn't stick up for me when I Spice said this. She said you didn't stick up for me when I was telling people that I was African. And Cleopatra's response, mind you, I mentioned this in the Ice Spice versus the Shea Butter community video because people were calling her a colorist at the time. So that comes up again in Cleopatra's what she had to say about Ice Spice. And she basically said that I didn't know her for any more than a couple months at the time, so I didn't know whether she was Nigerian or not. So she basically said Ice Spice never told her she felt away until later on when they got into it, saying, oh, well, I felt like you was jealous of me because when people actually was like Nigerian, you didn't say nothing. So we're actually going to circle around back to that later on, but fast forward to when they start going on tour together. I guess Ice Spice invited her out super last minute and said, you're good, you're with me, so don't worry about doing anything like you're having your own entourage, hotel, stuff like that. And I guess once they started going on tour together, she again didn't have any help. So, and I don't know if she was performing on the tour or not, or if she was just like a hype girl. I don't know what she was doing. I don't know if she was entourage. I don't know why she was on the tour, but I guess she was there. And people weren't keeping track of her bags. People weren't letting her into certain rooms, basically saying, you're not a special guest, you're entourage, basically. So when other artists were coming to perform, they would get their own dressing rooms and she wouldn't. Which again, I feel like you're not an artist, so like why would you get, I don't know, like why would you get your own dressing room? But if she is an artist, that would make sense why she would want one. But I don't know if she ever really goes into that or not. But again, she starts going on with things saying that Ice Spice is always in the booth and doesn't want to let her into her room and doesn't want her own space. And Ice Spice is like, damn, I can't like play with myself. Like, why you want to sleep in my bed every night? So basically what the lady saying Cleopatra is that Ice Spice only invited her on the tour for damage control, because this was around the time the Baby Stormy stuff happened, and I guess the whole Shea Butter community was against her. And there was something about a chicken salad. I don't know. Basically, Ice Spice was saying, girl, you're basically being ungrateful. I did so much stuff for you and you're complaining about the stuff that didn't go your way. And she's basically saying that Ice Spice is soulless and had her on a slave ship. Y'all, we're definitely going to break some of this stuff down. So yeah, the Cleopatra lady was basically claiming that Ice Spice is just soulless and mean, and that there was a caste system throughout the tour, and some people were on certain levels and other people weren't. They didn't have certain exclusive things, which kind of makes sense because it's like, what do you mean? Like, if a A-list artist comes to go on tour, of course they're gonna get a dressing room. That's about security, and that's another thing. She was saying that her security wouldn't carry her bags. Like, why would my security carry your bag? Like, I don't know. It seems like she wanted like princess treatment or something. But if you go back, she did say that Ice Spice said like, "You're with me, you're good, you're gonna be good." So I say that to someone if you're not going to like have their back with little shit like their luggage and stuff like that. But I can see how that could be a miscommunication when you're traveling with someone all over the world and stuff like that. So, based off all the claims she had, even though she made it about her feelings, honestly, everything she said about her was like a failed social climbing tactic. Like, if you really, barely knew this girl to where you couldn't defend her black card, when that was like one of the first times Ice Spice ever had negative backlash, to be honest. And one of the second times was one of the bigger times is when those text messages got exposed from Stormy Baby about Nicki Minaj. And both of those times, she didn't speak up for her. And I still invited her on tour. Now, did she probably do that like to like, probably get back at her the same way Stormy Bailey became friends with Ice Spice, even though that was her childhood bully, just to get back at her? Yeah, and that's exactly what I said in my last video. None of his friendships were genuine. All of these were failed social climbing tactics, except for Ice Spice's on her side, because she definitely social climbed off all of them, and they weren't able to do it the same way. And once they realized like they couldn't benefit from her or she was like leaving them in the past, they decided, I'm going to expose you. And even Ice Spice said herself, I'm starting to see a pattern. So I'm going to show you guys that clip right now.
The moment that somebody feels like they can no longer use your platform, or like they're not getting exactly what they want out of a situation the way that they want it, you know what I mean? It's like that's when they decide to crash out every single time. Like, I'm noticing a pattern, bro. And the shit is sad because I genuinely was trying to help her. Like, I'm like, yo, do you want to just come on this tour? You know what I'm saying? Like, you could just like join. Like, mad last minute type shit. What had actually happened is that we added another tour bus. So I'm like, now we have extra room. We have extra bunks. So I'm like, oh, let me see if Cleo wants to come. Feel me? So she could do like her songs and stuff like that. But that's what the fuck I get for trying to be a good person. It's whatever, bro. Honestly, like, that's not gonna stop me from still trying to be a good person. Like, I'm gonna always help the next person out. Like, and that's really my fault for real, because whatever though. But to say like just to leave out so many details is crazy. Like, how you not gonna tell the people we was on them rides at the theme park screaming our vocal cords out, like to the point where the next day it was hard to perform. Like, we was having fun. So for you to try to sit here and complain about a chicken salad, it's like you never came to me talking about a chicken salad. What are you really talking about right now? You gonna send me a whole essay after tour? Like, you just gonna get off the bus? I don't even know you got off the bus. And you gonna send me an essay with an intro, bodies, and a conclusion, like, and you want me to try to like analyze this shit, figure out how I'm wrong, when all I did was share my stage with you, when I ain't even have to do that. You got less than 10,000 listeners and I'm sharing my stage with you, and you feeling so entitled. Like, you thinking that my peoples that work for me is supposed to work for you too. Like, that's so crazy to me. Like, how I'm in the shower, you gon' barge in while I'm butt ass naked trying to press me about some bags that you gotta carry some bags. What? Like, nah, that's that bro. And me right now is like talking about some dark energy, trying to compare a tour bus to a slave ship. Like, what are you talking about right now? What?
So, for you guys that don't know how a tour bus looks, it looks like a slave ship. Three bunks stacked up on top of each other very tightly on each side. Some may have more, but this bus that we was on had three. And then she has her big room in the back, which I was staying at for the first couple of days until I blew things by saying something about.
Seriously? A slave ship? y'all, when I tell you the entitlement, like, and really, Baby Stormy was saying the same thing. They basically were mad that she social climbed off them better than they can social climb off her and crashed out when stuff stopped going their way. And trying to pull like the dark skin race card by bringing up a slave ship and saying she's against the shea butter community. Like, come on, like, be for real. Ain't no way that shit was not calculated. Like, insane. And I think that when it comes to Baby Stormy and Cleopatra, that's definitely the basis of the story. They were mad that they couldn't social climb off her the way that she social climbed off them. And she still has sympathy and befriended these people, and they both crashed out. And if you rewatch the Stormy video I made, she basically says the same thing that Cleopatra's about to say now about how when they met, the roles were reversed.
Somebody that you was watching since high school. You told me it was a full circle moment meeting me, bro. Meeting me, being in the same car as me. Like, you could not believe it. You were so gagged. But now your head is so big, you don't even know what.
So it was what I suspected all along. None of these friendships were genuine, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with social climbing, but being a sore loser is something else. So again, if you got to the end of this video, thank you so much and have a beautiful day.